Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Amy. Today we are setting up the very last patron journal spread that I will be doing here on this channel. This is a benefit that has been really fun for the past few years, and we've been slowly phasing it out because I just can't keep up with all the things anymore. So this is the very last one, and I'm very excited. This is a super special one. This is for my patron Becky, and it's actually not for her, but it is for a gift. There's someone who's been very close with her and her family for the past 7 years, and so she's gifting it to Kim as a gift to celebrate that. So she told me all the things that Kim likes. They regularly watch this channel together, and so we chose together, Becky and I chose this pink notebook. This came from Wrong, and it is a dot grid notebook. We'll take a look in a minute. But Becky said that Kim loves bunnies and pink things and baby woodland animals and all of that. And so she gave me free rein to do whatever it is that I want with those things in mind. So let's just take a look really quick. I have all this here. Let's look at it and then look at the notebook. So I have this gingham washi tape that I think matches all the colors really nicely. This is from my own shop. These have restocked. They're available now. We have my favorite script tape. I will link the things as I can down below in the description, as always. This is a bow tape from Simply Gilded. I received it at the Paper World Stationery Conference, or Stationery Expo, last month. I'm not sure if we're going to use this or not. We'll take a look at what it looks like on white, but it is a very light pink lace washi tape. We also have 2 rolls that have multicolors, but we would grab only the pink florals if they work. Then this one I already opened because I was lining it up to see if I think that we could do Dutch doors with it. And I think we'll be able to do it with some sticker surgery. So I have that. Then this is where the bunnies and baby animals come in. These are so cute. This is from Washi Tape Shop, and I have not used it yet. So we are going to, for sure, use all the various bunnies, but there are all these other woodland creatures that are super whimsical. So I thought it would be very fun to put in some whimsical scenes and make this kind of the bread and butter of the Dutch doors, and then have these other tapes as like the background tapes. These are on white. These have a white ink base, so we should be able to lay down tapes and then lay these down over top with no problems. So this is where we're gonna, start with, and we're definitely gonna incorporate the bunnies, but some of the other things as well. All right. So this is the notebook. As I mentioned, it is from Wrong Devo Illustration, and this is a really fun one because it's got all these different details on it and this lace on it. It also, instead of 2 bookmarks, it has this heart lock on it, so it's 1 bookmark. We have some gold foil here, and that's what it looks like. All right, so the inside has a really cool inner cover, and then it goes into dot grid here. This is 160 GSM paper, I believe, just like I always love, and a ton of pages. And this is super cool too. Look at that pocket. And then it does have a pen loop. All right, so we're gonna get started and create this for Kim, and Becky will gift it to her later this month. So we will start here. I never like to start on this page because it's just the seam and how it's connected just isn't as good for Dutch doors, so we always start here. So we need to figure out which bunnies we'll start with for our little scene. Now, these are not completely symmetrical, so some of these we will have to play with and fix up, but I think we can do some good stuff with this. So I love these little guys. So this one has similar ears, but we've got this tail of a scarf, so we could move the scarf to the other side, then have this one on the back. So we're gonna play with things, but I'm trying to decide which one we want first, because we can always do sticker surgery or just play with it. These While this one sticks out a little more here, or a little less here than that ear, I think we could actually do pretty well with that. So let's make that our first one. And since we have more space, let's add a little house situation going on with this. But we do need to pick which tape is our first tape. So let's just see how visible this one is on the white. It's not, it is visible in person. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be super visible on your screen as you're watching. So maybe we'll use this one in a minute, but let's start with the gingham. And we want to make sure we have enough space to get in at least like 3 Dutch doors with this. We can always do a little bit more, but at least 3. Okay, so then if we want the house, I would like to put the window over there and the little door on this side. And it's going to have stuff that isn't pink in there just because, of course, this tape set has more than pink in it. But we're going to make pink the main thing outside of whatever's on these stickers. And we do have pink, you know, within it. So we're going to do that. And there's our little house to go with it. And we're going to place these guys like this. So this one's kind of sitting in front of the door. This one's sticking out to make our Dutch door more than just a simple straight line. Okay. And you could put these down first if you wanted to, and then trim the tape around it. You can see, you see a little bit through it, but it does have that white ink base, so you can still see the full sticker. So I'm pretty happy with that. Down here, I'd love something. We have like little flowers and stuff like that. So let's have little flowers sticking up. These don't need to be symmetrical since we're not turning them into the Dutch door. We're just making a little garden underneath that window. Here's a little purple lavender, and then maybe just something green. We'll trim all that and then get this cut to go onto our next page. Uh-oh, bunny foot got a little turned over. Let's fix that up. There we go. Trying to trim it as closely as possible. I think it might be easier. It's sometimes hard right by the spine to trim things, but sometimes turning it over is easier. Oh my God, that's so... We're gonna get it. Come on. There. Got some of it. There we go. Perfect. Okay. There we go. So there's our first little one. And we're going to have some little animal scenes. Not all of them are going to be at the bottom. Some are going to come up this way so we have them sticking out like that. We are going to have bunnies throughout, but we will incorporate some of the other woodland creatures since she does love all kind of baby woodland animals. So next Dutch door will not be a bunny. Okay, and we will have to fit this one to it in a second and figure out what bunny will fit best there. It might not be the same one. It might be one of the others. But we'll put down the tape first and then figure that out. Okay, before I forget, I'm going to grab my corner rounder and just stick it here so that I see it so I don't forget to round any corners. It's not a necessary step, but I just think it looks really nice since the corners are rounded on the edges of the notebooks. So it just pulls it together just like that much more. And a little sticker scrap there. Let's pick that up. Okay. So we are going to look at what bunny sticks out its ear to the left to fit like that. And the cool thing is we can just, you know, take these and do that. This one almost works, except it's too big. We need another small bunny. So, you know, this one might be the best fit if we add some other stuff to it, but let's just look at some of the other things. Actually, this one would require some sticker surgery of the ears to make them a little bit smaller, but that would actually fit pretty nicely. Okay, we're gonna do a little sticker surgery and see if this works, and if not, we have many loops of this tape. If it doesn't work, we can always peel it up and do something else. But I feel like this could work pretty well. Okay, so we are gonna have to put it down in order to do this, but we can easily peel it back up, especially with it on top of the washi tape. So before I put it down, I'm just gonna cut off the ears. Sorry, bunny. We'll give you your ears back. They're just gonna be a little smaller. And put this guy as close as we can. It's not a perfect fit on the face, but it does pretty well. And as I say, it never is perfect on the back. Okay, so now we're just gonna put this down so that it fits and trim it, because right now it looks wild. We're just gonna trim it to be coming out of the hat like it was previously, and then see how it looks. We'll have to trim this other ear because I don't think I'll understand how it's looking if I don't make them similar sized. Okay. So then this one has to come out of this. Like, that's still too big. Okay, need to drop it down a little. There we go. Let's just see what this looks like. This might not work, but we're gonna try it. Okay, so the only thing is that this ear just looks a little bit wider than the other. There's a little bit of a line. Let me just try to cover that up a little bit. Shift it over a little bit. Sticker surgery. I'm gonna turn this one the tiniest bit so I can pick it up. I lost this one nail, and that's my picker-upper nail. Maybe I need my tweezers. I don't use tweezers a lot, guys. Usually that one nail suffices, but today I don't have it. Okay. Yeah, that angle is better, I think. Okay. Does the bunny have too short of ears? I think I'm okay with it for now. We might get to the very end and I might change it, but I think it does a pretty good job. Okay. We need to move on to another tape. I would like something fancy kind of in the middle. So I was thinking of having flowers sticking out sideways on it, and we'll again do sticker surgery to make it fit. So I think that would look really cool and add just a little bit of like pizzazz to the spread. So we're gonna do that. Again, I don't have the nail I normally use to detach the two parts, the back side and the front side of these long strip tapes. There we go. Okay. We're gonna do it this way and just make sure we're lining it up at the right spot. Before I put it down, let's just see. Yeah, that looks great. And then make sure it's pretty well lined up. Come on. This is a very sticky tape. I think this one came from like Journal Say or Soto Studios or something like that a long, long time ago. So those sites typically go through product pretty quickly. They have a lot of really cool stuff, but if I got it, you know, over a year ago, it's definitely not going to be there still. All right, so we will trim this and then try to find something that works with it we will have to do some sticker surgery moving a few pieces, most definitely. But the biggest one is that we're going to try to find a flower that goes right where that flower is. And then anything else we can trim around it and kind of move a little bit as needed. Okay. That looks so cool. All right, so let's get a little clippy to hold this down for a minute so that I can just do this. And where was the big flower? Up here. That was where the big flower was. But we're just trying a couple of different things. You know, this isn't too bad. It's pretty good. And then I could just add in a couple other lengths of flowers into the gaps. Okay. Because we have some extra that we can cut up and use. So I'm just trimming it close to where we're going to put it. We will have to trim a few pieces that were too long too, but that's just how it is with this, and you'll hardly notice once it's all cut. It'll give the whole wildflower feel anyways. So we are lining it up right about here, making sure it's still a straight line. As you can see, there are some pieces to trim, and that's okay. All right. So I did take all of this off the plastic, which I probably shouldn't have done yet, but we're just gonna start taking the pieces that we want and like placing it in the gaps, and then if there's something that doesn't work, like the stem isn't really working on this because the stem just ends, I can peel that up and that looks much better. Okay, so we're gonna do that and get in a couple of different things, and then we will go from there and move on. This one doesn't have any baby animals on it. The flowers are enough, but there will be baby animals on the page around it. Okay, so this one we're gonna put a little lower, like right there, like it's just popping out from behind these florals. This one, same thing, we'll do right here. And then that one, it's gonna be hard to get a stem that long, so this butterfly is gonna do the trick instead, because I don't need like any stems coming off to fill that gap. Okay, do I wanna fill that or that? Let's just take a look. I think that's pretty good. As I always say, the backside isn't ever perfect, but as long as you get like pretty close, it'll do the trick and still give you the feel of the front side of it. Okay, so the next one, we will do a baby animal of some kind, maybe another bunny, because I want to use that light colored one, I think, and you won't see as much of the baby bunny through the light colored tape, because when you have a lighter tape, not as much is shown through. Like you can see on this one, we see a little bit of the gingham, but on something super light, you'll see almost nothing through it. Just trying to pick up all the pieces I just trimmed. And if I didn't trim it, I'll go back and grab those. Okay, got stickers all over me. That little one did not come up, so I'm just gonna fussy cut that. There, all right. So as always, we'll come through this and do boxes and do extra decor on the page after we've done all the cuts. So I guess because Kim loves bunnies, let's have bunnies on the Dutch doors and other woodland animals inside. So looking at our other bunnies, we've got this one with the ears sticking out. I wonder, you can turn things around with tapes and kind of go like this. So this would work if we sticker surgery the ear which I think we'll be able to do, and we can put like a little floral where that paw is. I want the ears sticking out that way, so we have to use this bunny. And let's just go for using the thin tape. These Baroque lace tapes are really easy for Dutch doors because they're all symmetrical. So just which way? This way? Or this way? I think this way is the way to go. So we're just gonna trim enough without wasting a ton of it. Okay. I need this thumbnail to grow again. All right, so we're gonna put it just like here. So we still have a little bit of a door, but not too much. Just cause, yeah, it'll look good that way. There's my cutting mat. Okay, so this one we will have to trim the other side as well because the tape goes all the way to the edge. So it does not, it'll have some clear tape hanging over the edge once we put this all down. And I'm trying hard. It's going over the line of the tape edge, the clear tape edge. So it's kind of, it feels weird as I'm cutting it. So I'm trying not to let it like mess up the tape, like rumpling, you know. So I'm going a little slower as I go over the edge of the tape doing these turns. Okay. That one I did not cut hard enough right there. Look at how fun that is. I forgot the bunny. Oh my God, you guys were probably telling me that I forgot the bunny, but that's okay. That's okay. So we're gonna do it and watch what I do. So we could just leave it so that we see the ears on both sides, but I don't want to do that. What I'm gonna do is put it like this, and then here we go. Okay. Lining this up where it goes. See, we can do sticker fixes when we make mistakes. I always show you guys my mistakes so that you know that even when we make mistakes, we can fix them. So I stuck that back down and I'm going to trim that one off. And when we put the stuff down on the other side, we'll be able to hold it doubly strong because you'll have adhesive on both sides. So I think that's going to work pretty well. I may put a little bit of double-sided tape right over it before we put anything down, just to serve as another little attachment point, just to make it a little bit stronger. But we can always fix when we make mistakes. You just might have to do something a little creative. I've definitely cut through pages before when I didn't mean to and things like that, and it takes a little work, but you can fix it. All right, and then that's what we've got. I do have this bunny down here. It just is how it kind of worked out, and it's so cute. Okay, so it's like one scene going with all of them. All right, we are gonna do this back side now. Just make sure we have enough for it. Yeah. Okay. Just laying it down so it's nice and even. And let's get our bunny fixed up and ready to go before we trim all this stuff. So this is the one we said we'd use. And we are going to try to trim the ear out of the little hole so that we can just turn the whole ear. So This is a little difficult. I probably should have just cut it out with the backing on it. That would be easier, y'all. But I didn't trust myself cutting this on there in case it tore when I pulled it up. Okay. Yeah, I would have left the backing on it if I had thought about it again. Oh, it's like, yeah, perfect. Look at that. So we're going to put this one down and then fit. Maybe put this one down. No, I want to make sure it's going the right. Okay. Actually, I think we can do this. Let's get this one going the right way. And then put this one down so that the ear fits into there. And look at that. It's the right size and everything. That is so cute. Okay, so we need to trim. I forgot the double-sided tape, but it feels pretty strong. All right, we need to trim all the extra clear part of the sticker that is hanging off this. So we'll just put it like this. And just follow the shape of what we've already got cut. And hopefully the sticker, the clear sticker that we're cutting off, just sticks to the cutting mat, and I can peel that up later after this video. That did pretty well. We have to do this one too. Getting off all the little bits, if anything got stuck. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. There we go. Now, I think just because I love it so much, we're going to use this tape on the front and back and then build our scenes with it. And get all our other woodland creatures down and the other bunnies we haven't used and all of that. Okay, so this is one of my favorite tapes. I most recently found it on Amazon, but the problem is that it is super sticky. So if you mess anything up, it is pretty difficult to use, and it tears easily as you're pulling the whole thing up, so it's hard to like keep it from ripping in the middle. But it is my favorite tape. I moved it in a little bit so we have a little bit more usable space in here since we don't need it all the way. Okay, we're gonna get that trimmed and put it on the other side as well. And then go for our big decorating of all the other stuff. But the Dutch doors are done. That's the biggest part of it. Okay, I think we might also take a look at some thinner pink tapes and see which one I'd like to use. Because I do like to sometimes use a thin tape as kind of like a border. I think that would look really nice here. So let's just, first I found a set of really thin tapes. We have a pink. What does that look like with these? I'm just going to lay it kind of across here. Is it too bright pink or does it pop? I think I kind of like it actually. It just makes it a little pinker. Let's use it. Okay, so we're going to put it here as a little border. And then we're going to put it with these ones also as a little border. And then we'll do it on the front when we put down the tape again, the script tape. Okay, because I'm about to do this side, I'm not going to trim it yet. I'm just going to get both sides done and then trim it. Trying to make it as straight as possible. All right. This is so cute. That is so much fun. I think before we create the rest of the scenes, we will have to put down our boxes to know where things are going and then go from there. Okay, since we have more space to work with on this side to fill that, I'm going to use all of this tape and just try to line it up here. It is hard to lay down without getting any bumps in it, so I'm just doing my best. There we go. And see, we still have a little bit of space, but it's going to look great with that little pink border that we've got. And then we'll take a look at Jojo plans for box stickers. I think I have some like pastels and stuff that might look nice. So let's take a look on that in just 1 second. Okay, we're going to put this here for a nice gap. Hopefully that fills the space pretty well. Okay, so now just take a look. Yeah, look at that. The pink line's right there. So good. Okay, so here are pastel boxes for Jojo plans. What does the pink look like? Rolling through. Here we go. We've got some pinks. I have used some of the pinks already, but we've got some pink. And I think that'll be great. Okay, do I have a large pink box? Yes, I have one large, big, dark pink box, which we're going to put back here. And I'm going to start this one up at the top. And this one we'll put down here. I like balance, so if it's towards the side, I put it towards that side. If it's top, I put bottom. If I do across the center, I do them both across the center. I just think it looks really nice that way. And I am putting down one box per page to make sure we have enough. And then we're going to do some layered boxes, and then we'll decorate with some more animals and things like that. I'm going to do this one towards the inner side, and so this one towards the inner side. We've got this here, so we're going to start up here, and I think the lighter pink will look nice next to this tape. Yeah. All right, so we are now going to do a mid-sized box, which we've got some here. Though this one, do I want a bigger box? Like one of these? That might be too big. Okay. Just looking at what sizes of boxes I have left in these colors. Okay, so we will do this one. That's not quite straight though. Let's fix it. There we go. Okay. And because this one's on the bottom corner, we're going to do this one on the top corner. Again, that balance. These ones will do a little bit different. I'm going to put it like this. And then like this. I think I'm only going to do 2 boxes. Sometimes I put a third, but I want to put decorations there to help decorate the whole page. Like have some woodland creatures sitting on top of the boxes and things like that. I think it'll look really great. And since we're going to do that, how about this one I put down like this so that we can fit something in here. Thinking proactively about it. And we'll do the same on this one. Making sure it's exactly where I want it though. Okay. So these are all the boxes we'll do. And we need to get some more creatures in, maybe putting some things across here, we'll see. I know for sure I want to get the fence in as part of one of these pages. So I'm just looking for where's the best spot. My thought was maybe to have it coming across here so that it could be part of the spread. Like, see the gate here, the house, the gate. I kind of like that still. So I think we're going to do that. But if we're going to do that, before we put it down, we need it. Oh my gosh, I should have picked something else up. We need a creature to be inside the gate because that's cute. Okay, I'm going to put this down to the side for just a minute and think about creatures. Let's look at the bunnies that we haven't used yet first. Or have we used all the bunnies? I think we've used all the bunnies. Okay, so we're going to use a different creature to be standing in there. It needs to be small. Let's take this one. This one's really cute, but she's attached to this sticker. So I'm going to very lightly trim around that. Okay. She's gonna be here. Let's just see how it works with the fence. She's a little short. We're gonna raise her up a little bit. Should she be standing on something or just up a little bit? Okay, so if we put her like that, that's gonna be better. Okay, what can she be standing up? We could put her on a teacup. We have teacups. That would be very whimsical, but let's just, because we could have her like that. We could also just have her floating. Or she could be like standing on a plant. Let's put this down and see what it actually looks like. We can peel up the fence if we need to. Okay, so I'm going to put her right there. You know what? She's behind the archway. She can be standing slightly behind it. She doesn't need to be. It looks realistic enough. I think it's fine. Okay. So we can't really see her right here. Do I move them over? I think I move them over so we can see her face. Okay. So she is attached to this gate now, so we can see exactly where she needs to be with the gate. Okay. So let's put it like that. And see, it is so nice putting this on top of washi tape because it makes it really easy to peel if we need to. Okay, let's just take a quick look. Ah, that's so much better. All right, we're gonna go with that, but just rotate it down the slightest bit because we already trimmed it. I just wanna make it look a bit even so it's not all slanted. Okay, there. All right, so since we have this whole scene Do we add a little scene right here? I think we must. Something. These guys actually would work really well because it brings the teal more into the spread, which we have a lot of pink, but it just is a contrasting color and looks really nice. So now we've got this whole thing. That's great. Okay. Up here, I feel like we need something because it's a big open thing. We do have an airplane and a cloud. That would make sense in terms of the scene. So yeah, and the green is not totally out of the question because it does go with some of the greenery throughout, like in the archway and in the leaves here and the stems and stuff there. So it does all pull together. So we are just gonna have this guy here so that we can see his face when that one's closed. These guys' faces will disappear as you turn more pages. That's just what happens. So like we can see it perfectly with this one, but as this one goes, we start to lose more of the creatures, and that's okay. All right, now we just get to decorate. We should do a little tea party spot. Let's just find the best place for it. I think right here would work really well. It is going to have a little, what is that, a fox? Be a little higher than the table, unless we trim the legs of it. We could trim the legs of the chair. And yeah, let's trim the legs of the chair. We'll put them down and then trim that so we don't, so it's like his chair legs are behind the box. I think that'll work pretty well. So he's not like completely taller than the table. And his tail can tuck over a little bit. That's cute. Okay, we do need to add in the pouring teapot. I think that looks really cute. I don't think we need the other teacup that's floating. All right. Just looking for something that fits really nicely. That's actually pretty cute. These tapes are really thin from the washi tape shop. They're really nice, easy to peel up, but they do crumple a little bit as you use them, and it does make it sometimes a little bit harder. Okay. I have an idea. A little bit of greenery that he's reaching for. Very cute. Okay, then this is where the deer fits. But we need to make it straight. All right, I think, well, again, crumply. So peel it up and make it even. Okay, look at how cute she is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so on this one, we have a little more space. So I think the bike would be really cute to use at some point. This creature could have been on the bike, but I used it for something else. Or we can use the bears. This big one is really cute, but also this one is really cute. This one is the one I'm putting here. And again, putting it down so that it doesn't crumple if I can. And a little bit's gonna be on the edge here. It's pretty close to the seam, so if the adhesive isn't enough and it pops up, I can just use a little double-sided tape right there. It's a common problem with putting stickers across the spine. Okay, so we've got these guys left, but they're much bigger than these two. Is there a smaller one? I could put, well, we didn't use the other half of this one, right? We used, oh, that one here. So this would do well and bring more of that green across the spread to just have a complementing color. There we go. And then just something in here we could do. I think the bike fits perfectly. It doesn't have a creature on it, though we could put this little guy on it and have him twice in the spread. Since we can't see him anywhere else, let's just grab him and take a look at what it looks like with him on the bike. But I just love that bike with all the pink. Then we do have some extra florals, so let's take a look at florals too. But if we do it like this, actually that's really cute. That is really cute. Okay, I never put a cloud by the plane. I'd like to get a cloud in the sky. Like right there. And then let's put a cloud right over here too, because we have multiple. There. Okay, so we'll trim these up, see about any flowers throughout. But I think this is almost done, guys. Absolutely love it. Okay, sticker stuck to my finger, but I don't even care. Okay, we're just finishing those cuts up. Okay, flowers, flowers. So like, we don't have anything here, but there's a lot going on. What if we just do this flower there, because it's kind of made for a corner and it doesn't take too much decorative space, but it just adds a little fun. Very cute. Okay. Right there fills a tiny little gap as well. Like the most minuscule little piece to cut. Okay, and then the only question is on here, do we want any flowers or things sticking out? We have this whole umbrella that we could use. Let's just, it's going to be upside down for a second, but let's just put it there. You know, I think it takes away from what we've got. I think we've got exactly what we need, and no other corners to trim, only this one. Okay. I think we're good here, you guys. I think this is our final spread for Becky, who's gifting this to Kim. So I hope you both love this. All right. Here is the final result. All right, thanks everyone for watching. As a reminder, when I have links to specific things, I'll put them in the description down below so you can check that out. Thanks so much for watching. See you all next time. Bye.